This week on Tampa Talk, a phosphate boom that shaped Tampa's economy and nearly poisoned its waters. Hulk Hogan's unexpected passing, teens robbing an undercover detective, and rent prices that just won't quit.
Plus, a major chemical lawsuit payout, an anime convention, a drone light show, and some questionable behavior for a Hillsborough County employee. It's a packed week.
So, what's up, Tampa? It is July 25th. For those just joining us, welcome to Tampa Talk. I'm John.
And I'm Dahlia. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, what are we talking about?
Well, for this week in the work, we can talk about the fact that we've been trying to, record these and have a video component to our show here. And this is our first time trying that out with us remote. So, let
Yeah,
us know
it's
what
been
you
a lot
think.
of
You're gonna be
firsts, and
watching
it
this.
has been a good bit of work trying to pull this together. But I think we're looking okay, and we'll see if we can do some remote ones because it's going to happen from time to time. It is nice when we can both be on. Um, but let's get into a little bit of Tampa history here. Today we're digging deep, literally into the ground that made Tampa rich. Bone Valley's phosphate gold rush.
So it all started in 1886 when phosphate was discovered along Florida's Peace River. And that set off a frenzy, and Bone Valley, stretching through Polk, Hillsborough, and Manatee counties, became the heart of U.S. phosphate mining.
And this wasn't just dusty rock. We were exporting the building blocks of modern agriculture, which is the fertilizer, at massive scale. In 2017 alone, nearly 8 million tons of phosphate rock moved through Tampa Bay port.
But mining, back then came with major risks. And even today, there were dam failures, radioactive waste, and hurricane-triggered spills. So, in 1997, a dam at Mulberry Phosphates collapsed, killing over 1 million fish. And in 2004, Hurricane Francis let loose 65 million gallons of acidic water into Hillsborough Bay.
Yeah, and then let's not forget the 2016 Mosaic sinkhole that swallowed 215 million gallons of contaminated water into the aquifer. More recently, Piney Point's releases one in 2021, another in 2022, pumped top toxic water straight into Tampa Bay.
And then 2024, Hurricane Milton unleashed an additional 17,000 gallons of wastewater from the Riverview stack. And now environmental groups and lawmakers are battling over the safety and regulation issue.
So it's a legacy of boom and bust, wealth and waste, and Tampa will still sits on that like kind of fault line.
Yeah. And it's a huge industry in Tampa if you're not familiar with it, to kind of recognize. So, but getting into some news, we'll get into first up the story that I'm sure has already hit people's ears, but Hulk Hogan, aka Terry Bollea, died at 71 from cardiac arrest at his home in Clearwater. And just to note, Hulk Hogan grew up in Tampa, I think South Tampa specifically. So that's kind of why this is relevant, not just, to the fact that he was, a well-known celebrity, but um, he was a local.
No, I remember growing up just seeing him around town all the time, and I was always baffled, like it putting it together. He was a local legend, a wrestling legend, a movie star, pop culture icon. He's survived by his wife, Sky Daly, and his two kids. His death follows the recent passing of Ozzy Osbourne and Malcolm Jamal Warner. Rough week for Hollywood.
So shifting gears, Tampa Bay Water is getting a $21.7 million settlement after suing 3M and DuPont over PFAS, or forever chemicals, in our water.
These chemicals have been used in household products for decades, but long term exposure has been linked to cancer and liver damage. The lawsuit was part of a national effort, and Tampa Bay Water helped lead the charge.
On the education front, Florida just slashed the list of required competencies for school media specialists. The old list has about 25 standards, and the new list will have about eight.
Critics say it weakens library oversight, and which some view as essential for protecting students' First Amendment rights.
Meanwhile, an off-duty Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office employee who was actually in their information systems department, so not an officer himself, Timothy Feller, was arrested for exposing himself in a Brandon Mall parking lot. So he's on leave now pending investigation and was arrested.
And if that weren't wild enough, then two teens were arrested after trying to rob an undercover detective in Riverview. They lured the detective with a drug deal, pulled guns, and tried to steal his car. They fled on foot, but they were caught shortly after.
And then in other news, affordability in Tampa continues to slide. We now need to make 32.42 an hour, or about $67,000 a year, to afford a one-bedroom apartment when it comes to rental. This is extremely challenging with Florida's minimum wage being at $13. That means somebody working a minimum wage job will need to put in about 96 hours a week just to keep a roof over their head.
Yeah, it's wild, man, what's going on with the challenges for affordable housing. I actually was, so we record on Thursdays. This morning was actually went down to City Hall to speak on behalf of a project, a small scale infill project for 20 affordable housing units. But like, we need to do everything that we can to kind of figure some things out for like capped AMI kind of housing projects. I mean, there's so much work to be done in this front, but it's getting brutally hard to remain kind of here in Tampa. Let's get into kind of what's going on for the weekend.
So first up, we have Metrocon going on. It's Florida's largest convention back at the Tampa Convention Center. It'll have panels, vendors, and a famous anime human chess match that runs through the 25th through the 27th.
I'm sure the chess match doesn't last that long, but the convention perhaps. But cool
Yeah.
chess match, not indeed. And if you're heading to St. Pete, check out the 7 to 7 day drone show at Spa Beach. Over 1,000 drones will light up the night sky to celebrate the history and the future of the St. Pete Pier.
Cool. There'll be fireworks, animations of historic landmarks, and even a birthday candle drone finale. It is a free event, and the show will start at 4 p.m. on the 27th.
And then don't forget, like always, we'll be out at Harvest Hope this morning with our Kinship Mobile Free Market and also at the Ybor Street Community Garden Friday morning. So come on out and say hi.
All right. Well, that's what we're talking about this week. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Guys, if you like the show, if you like what we're doing with the video, we do want to just invite you to comment, to share the show, to kind of share it with a friend. A direct link to the Spotify podcast that now has video as well as at tampatalk.xyz. And then we have a weekly newsletter that goes out. You can subscribe to that at wordonthestreets.xyz. That newsletter has the links for the news articles that we're talking about, the upcoming events, occasionally a few extra other things, a link to things about Tampa history. And then also we embed a link to the show in that as well. So we just want to encourage you guys to continue to support the show.
And until next time.
Y'all be good.